Karibu Babu. Welcome, welcome, grandfather. Karibu Babu. Habari ya mchana, mama. Habari ya mchana. How is the afternoon? Mama. There's one. How is the afternoon? Habari za mchana. I think. Either it makes up its own syllable. It's not prenasalization of the consonant because it's not homoorganic. It takes up a beat. Sound messed up. Habari za mchana, and then just Grandpa Babu, not grandparents. So habari is like how, za mchana. Oh, maybe it's a pointing word. Two different pointing deictics, za and ya, would be a guess.
Habari za mchana dada.
Habari za mchana dada. How is the the afternoon? Dada, sister, big sister.
Dada.
Just sister. How is home? Habari nyumbani, home. Habari ya nyumbani, dada.
Dada.
Good morning, father. Asubuhi. Habari za asubuhi, baba.
Baba.
Habari za asubuhi, baba. So, habari za now nyumbani. Habari za probably a ni prefix class marker. Nyumbani. I was home. Grandmother. Bibi? Yeah. Or nyanya. Congratulating myself there. So, welcome back to Lango Institute. I'm your VerbAlly. I'm a language teacher at Lango. The Twitter page for Lango, you can see our languages that we teach, that we offer. We do remote as well as moving back into on-site. English, Korean, Spanish, Chinese, French, German, Japanese, Portuguese, Italian. And we have occasional workshops on topics like phonetics and other things of language learning interest. We've got a blog and a podcast that you can find on our page, languageinstitute.com. Under the Things tab, blog, podcasts, our books are up there for sale. They are wonderful language learning and language play, like word game books for Korean learners. I'll show you what they look like, and wonderfully illustrated by a talented local artist. So do check those out. Okay, this evening, the theme is Latin and the Romance languages. Let's do the mother language first. So Latin is what we call the language spoken roughly 3,000 to 1,000-ish years ago. So, I mean, the city of Rome was supposed to be founded in 753 BC, and Latin means the language of that region, Latium. So from the founding, before 500 BC, through the breakup of the Roman Empire, and Latin never stopped being spoken. It just it developed in different ways in different places. We call the daughter languages Romance. That's what my ROM stands for here. So French and Spanish is the biggest one in terms of number of speakers. And French is very widespread, so Italian, the standard languages of the southern part of Europe. But lots of regional varieties too, some linguistically quite distinct. We just started Catalan here. But anyway, Romance is the daughter languages, Romance language family. LG for language family. That's what we're going to be talking about here. So I just want to cover as much ground as quickly as I can here in our Latin course.
Corinna et livea iter faceunt.
Of course, he's not a native speaker of Latin because there are none. We do still use and occasionally produce new things in Latin. And so the written tradition goes back more than 2,000 years of the Latin language. And like I said, it's the basis of about half the languages of Europe. They're just daughter language. English is not. We did not come directly from Latin. It's a cousin branch to our family of languages. Iter faciunt. Corinna et Livia, these are names, female names, and Livia, conjoined. They're the subject. All right, we're going to see nouns, we're going to see verbs. And in this language, and in all of the daughter ones and the cousins, the grammatical roles and categories are marked on suffixes. And at the front, you have your verb roots. That's for a verb. Faciunt, this is, so, facile. A lot of English derivatives from Latin. That's going to be something I'm going to try to mention here and there. Words that we know as just English users. People, I'm going to assume you know just English and no other language. But you're here to learn. Or whatever floats your boat. But I'm trying to teach here. So, fac, F-A-C, is faciunt, the root of this verb form. And English has derivatives like facile, faction.
Faciunt.
Here we have it as a main word. It means to do or to make. Say, make a journey. Iter is a noun for the road. Make a journey. There's no a. And that's it. So the verb is, okay, so grammatical things are marked at the ends. This nt
Faciunt.
shows us that the subject of the verb is a group of people, third person, so neither the speaker nor the person spoken to. Everybody else in the world is in the third person category. So plural verb
Faciunt.
with
Corinna.
two singular persons named. They're conjoined, so it's more than one, and the verb's going to be in the plural. This iter now, so they are the subject, they're in the nominative case. Latin had 5 cases, which is formed, so for our purposes now, just forms in which distinct meaning form pairings in which nouns would occur. No noun occurred outside of one of these 5 cases. Nominative, used primarily for the subject and other things. Accusative, used for direct objects, is its primary function, and sometimes other adverbials here and there of duration and such. Dative, case of the indirect object, the person to whom. It tends to be an animate and not an inanimate thing in the dative case, just because it requires a sentient being, a being with a mind, to receive, but not exclusively. It's just a tendency. So person to whom is the core thing to associate with dative. These are, I'm giving you the primary functions of them, but each has subsidiary ones too. It's not succinctly described very easily. Okay, and then we have an ablative case. I'm going to say the genitive for last. Case of the source from which. And related meanings. And genitive is kind of on a different level of case, because these first 4 assign noun phrase sort of with regard to their function in the verbal action. But a genitive is not generally like that. This is the one modifying a noun, is its primary function. So it's kind of on a different footing, in my view. All right.
Longum iter facio.
Here, and if I go too fast or you'd like something explained more clearly, that's what I'm here to do. It's what I'm happy to do. This is what we're going to see in Latin, is that it uses these distinct forms of nouns. Iter is in a class of nouns where the nominative and the accusative look alike. It's called neuter. So these are the cases. And another important grammatical category is gender of nouns and adjectives. Latin had 3 M for masculine, and these are just arbitrary drawers into which nouns are sorted in speakers' brains. Has 3 MFNs, the succinct way to refer to them. Neuter makes sense at the end of the list because it means neither. Feminine. So one of the main uses, if it's a noun referring to a human most of the time, a masculine ending will be clear. Same for female names of female people. But there are human nouns that just happen to be neuter gender. Right? Neuter is Latin, it means neither. Ne uter, not either of two. It's a compound word originally, kind of fused together into a single stem now. Longum iter. So this longum is clearly accusative singular. Well, unless it's neuter also. But in this case it is neuter. It's the object of the making. The thing I make is a long road. I make a long journey. Fuck you, I get the meaning I from the O at the end. Which continues in all of the daughter languages in their own ways. Make a long journey.
Marcus et Stephanus iter faciunt.
Marcus et Stephanus iter, the object, faciunt. This one is neuter. And one in this family of languages, one note about neuter is nominative form and accusative form identical. In all the branches that I know of. That continues to be true in German to this day. Whatever languages still have case. I would suppose Icelandic.
Iter longum facis.
Facis. Look to the verb. This is, anything that ends in an s like that is second person. Well, I mean, if we're in the present tense. You are making a long road. Here in the other order, that there was complete freedom in that regard in Latin. Whether you put the noun first or the adjective, you make a long journey.
Quo iter facit Corinna?
Interesting word order here. So the question word quo means to what place? To where? We put that first in English as well. We call that fronting. Moves to the front of the sentence. Iter facit, that's the verbal core with its object, verb and object kernel of this thing. She makes, singular person with a T suffix.
Facit.
Facit. Make, to where, we say does Corinna make, put that last. The journey or a journey, all the same. Latin had no articles. That developed in Romance, but was not part of classical Latin. Articles are words meaning things like the and
Marcus iter longum ar urbem facit.
Some more information on the long journey. Ad, preposition toward. Urbem, accusative, city. Toward the city.
Facit.
An accusative can be the object of a preposition. Of preposition is a word like to, from, for, and so on. Oh, and I meant to say that about accusative. It's true of ablative nouns case as well.
Marcus.
This is the most common masculine type, ending in us in the subject case, nominative singular. And we preserve it as a name with the ending in English. Marcus. Hi, Marcus. Oh, hi, Marcus. Iter longum ad urbem.
Facit.
Makes a long journey. That's a noun phrase in English, a long journey, and it is in Latin too. Here it's together. Iter longum. The way, the road, which is
Iter.
to the city. Ad urbem.
Urbem.
This is accusative as well. So we got more than one accusative noun phrase here. No need to panic. Let me just copy that. We can annotate the structure of it a bit. Not that.
Marcus.
Iter longum. Nope, I'll just type it then. Marcus. And I'll try to segment the endings off to make them easier to perceive. Iter, that has what we call a zero ending. That's the end of the stem. The lack of any further sound is structurally significant, either nominative or accusative singular. Longum, convenient to separate there. And this is a noun phrase together, a road that is long. Noun first. Longum. Now comes a new kind of phrase headed by a preposition. Toward. And then this noun phrase inside is in the accusative. M is the ending here. This is what we call a consonant stem. B is the last common sound in each of the case forms. After that follows this ending. In this us, and class, it's a little harder to say. Like, it's really the boundary is there, but because this vowel varies, it's, for learning purposes, more useful to segment it there. But the M is what's common to this. So the nouns in this case, most of them in the accusative will end in an M. Ad urbem. Prepositional phrase there, facit, does, singular. So stem there, it is the ending. Although, maybe better to put it here. It's one way to skin that particular creature. Now, this is a verb. It heads a verb phrase, which I use the V-shaped brackets for. And the object is included in that, to make that a little clearer. All right. So subject here, Marcus, that's the object of the verb, while this is the object of a preposition. Here we have prep, PP for prepositional phrase, and here's the verb, and it's third singular. Oops. Makes a long journey, city. That was amateurish. I make a journey to the city with the pronoun be ego. Iter facio ad urbem, or some other order. Iter ad urbem facio with verb last is quite elegant. The road to the city, I make it. You make a journey. Iter facis, be the kernel of that. And now from the city is a different preposition. Ab urbe, iter facis. So, other prepositions, I'm going to use these curly ones, ab, and now the form, not urbem, but urbe, ending in a vowel. And this is the ablative case, which means source, place from which. This one. So here, from a place, from the city, naturally goes with an ablative noun. Ab means from. And let's think of our English derivatives before we go on to the next one. What words do we have just in everyday English that every speaker knows and uses that are derived from these 2,000-year-old, roughly, words and meanings? Ab, from, and then city, the noun stem. The case ending is able. Consonant stem here, ending in B. So, iter, we have itinerary. For this, longum, our word long happens, the native English word with that meaning, stretched in one dimension, happens to be spelled just like that, and they're cousin words. But we have longevity, longitude, with the Latin origin. Ad, we have anything and beginning with ad, roughly, where it's a prefix, like admit, and then the d often assimilates, so in assign, d matched the s that followed, it was add sign, and so on. AFF, AGG, aggressive, lots of different English words, it'd be hundreds if not thousands, have this odd element in them. Urbanization, all that family with, like, what else is there? Urbane, the positive meaning. Okay, and facile, factory, factor, of course, dozens at least of derivatives of this root. And the ab, the full form of that is abs. It could be either a on its own, with a consonant followed, or ab, but occasionally you see the s preserved, abs. So in absolute, it's closer to its full shape. Here I'm using round brackets for things that are optional. The a initial is always there. The fullest form of this, I mean to say, is abs. Abstain would be one word. The s is part of the prefix, I do think. Yeah, the root is tenere, to hold. So the s is part of that positional word, abs. Here we have ab ending in a b. So that's this stretch with the optional b here shown. You make a journey. The iter, the object, you make it. Facis. And to the city, ad urbem, accusative of the destination. So that's a good use of accusative. Destination and extent come there. Where do you travel to? So, quo vadis gets you close. Where are you going? Quo do you make a journey? Iter facis. Quo means to where, not where if it's stationary, but with that locomotion involved.
Marcus iter longum ar urbem facit.
Marcus, subject, iter longum, object of the verb, ad urbem facit. He makes a long journey to the city. And let's just collect those verb endings that we've seen so far. With facere is the infinitive form of the verb. Use the dot for where the stem ends and the ending begins. All right. So first person means the speaker, s singular. Facio. Or maybe it's two syllables, facio. Second singular, you do, F-A-C, and the ending is I-S. And this is just one possible analysis, one way to break it down. There's generally more than one way to look at a thing like this. And now the plural forms, meaning we, in this case, one plural means we make it, we do it. This one means make or do. And also many words with F-I-C when it's with a reduced vowel. So probably not the word fiction itself, but lots of other things. Fication, in that one it's reduced vowel of this root. And then also things ending in phi, saponify, to become soap. Diversify, any of those are traced back to this verbal root with this meaning in Latin. All right, the first plural form, facimus. Second plural, meaning you all. You, more than one person, facitis. We didn't see these last two, but we did see the third plural, faciunt. So if we were field workers, I might bracket these as special. Just reconstructed them. I didn't actually see them in the wild. There. All right, that was a portion of Latin. Let's do a daughter language. What shall we do? Whatever we haven't done in the longest time. Say Catalan, just at the bottom because it's taught through Spanish. Do you want to get to that soon? Let's do French next, and then Catalan. So now we're going to look at some daughter languages and look for some of the same words and the same endings and grammatical parallels. Stuff that's inherited, maybe stuff that's different. It's important to understand that there was no time, there was not a date on which the speakers of Rome stopped speaking Latin and started speaking Italian. It's all a smooth transition, a continuum, like you have also in the dimension of place. As you go from one place to another in what we consider one language tends to be a chain of different dialects that gradually get more different. Which one of these is the music? La musique.
Le chocolat.
Le chocolat, silent T.
Le livre.
Le livre.
La musique.
La musique. So, single U in French most of the time is an U, front rounded vowel. Le chocolat.
Le livre.
Livre. So, an unmarked letter E in French is generally going to be a weak schwa vowel, or it'll be silent. Like here, that final E.
La musique.
The final E is not even sounded anymore. Musique. The K is the last sound.
La musique. Le livre.
And really the R, spelled by R, is the last one there.
Le chocolat.
So a good rule of thumb is drop the last letter. There's many exceptions, but we don't hear this last T. We don't hear this last vowel there. We hear the Q sound, K. And we don't really hear an E here. We hear the R.
Le chocolat.
Le. Oh, just chocolate. The chocolate, but also the book.
La musique. Le chocolat. Le livre.
Le livre.
Nous aimons New York.
Nous aimons. We like or love, aimons, as in amiable. And the name Amy comes from
Aimons.
beloved. We like New York.
J'aime Montréal.
Montréal. Another silent T, not Montreal, like we say. I like Montréal.
J'aime Montréal.
It means the order is noun, adjective, royal mountain. We want, nous voulons.
Nous voulons.
Infinitive. We have one inflected verb within a clause. The other verbs, as verbal meanings, will be added by infinitives and participles. Want to read. Lire.
Lire.
Looks a lot like that noun
Un.
for book. Just add a V.
Livre.
Which is the pages opening. Livre. And you put lire around it. How lovely. Do it in French now. Put lire around the opening pages. Lire, which means to read, the infinitive. Idea for an illustration there. We like New York. Just a nice verb. Subject, verb, object. Sentence. Same order for French.
Nous.
Now, to mean love, we saw aime, or maybe here's one that's plausible. Means like or love. Now we've also got aimons. They differ in the ending. So what do the endings mean? They keep certain meanings apart. If it's aimons with that ONS, which is a single sound O, that shows we are the subject.
Aimons.
We, it's always going to agree with the nous. Always going to be mentioned there with it. So good way to associate them as a learner, look at the N and the S here at the beginning, and the subject consists of O, N, S. Connect those. Like New York.
New York.
School. Okay.
Le livre. La banque. L'école.
The school. The bank. La banque.
Le chocolat.
L'école.
La banque. Je vais à la banque en voiture.
Je vais à la banque en voiture. And going. Je vais. I'm going. Walking would work too. Going. À la banque en voiture. To the bank. Two prepositional phrases here. À la banque. They contain noun phrases within them. I'm going to the bank en voiture.
Banque, voiture.
without an article, just like we do in English, by car, not by the car. Here for the means of transport, and à la banque for the destination. French no longer has case, but if we were using Latin, destination would be an accusative, ad orbem, like this one. Bancam wasn't around as a word in Latin. It came during the Middle Ages, during Latin when it was still spoken, a living spoken language. It's well past the Latin stage, is my understanding. En voiture. En is related to our word in. Voiture probably has the same root as vehicle.
Nous allons à l'hôtel.
Let's check on that. Voiture. What is the, so that tur ending, abstract noun, is common like scripture. What is the root of this word? Veho, carry. So this is that root of vector. What else is there? Be convex, convey. Probably also the English family of, the family of the English word way. Vectura, carry and bear. So moving through space. Okay, nous allons. That's that we ending. W-E, we. Nous allons, we are going, we go. À l'hôtel. Because
Hôtel.
it starts with the letter H, but there's no sound associated with it. The first sound of the word is a vowel, and the vowel of le drops. Right, I believe it's masculine. We're going to the, à le, and then hôtel.
Je veux lire un livre.
Je veux lire un livre. That's read, infinitive, and a book. Je veux, special inflection here, not the most common one. I want. Lire, infinitive means, has the meaning of to with it. We use this little particle to read. Un livre, a book. So that's the verb that was highlighted there, lire. Now,
Livre.
that's the whole verb phrase. It embraces this noun object. Object in two senses. A book is a solid object that you can touch. Grammatical meaning the thing that is affected by the book, although I don't know how affected it is by reading.
Nous sommes ici.
Nous sommes, we are. Ici means here, pointing to a place where you are standing. We are here. Again, nous would be the basic word for it. We also use this sort of indefinite pronoun, one.
On.
Person, which is grammatically third
Est.
singular. What the meaning is first person plural. On est ici.
Ici.
Here we are. I want to read a book. So it's kind of an intricate structure, really. You've got this verb phrase with its object in it as the complement of another verb. It's a kind of thing to want, the reading of a book. I want to read a book.
Je veux.
Both languages, the want part is inflected. That verb that comes first in the row is what agrees with the subject, and the rest is in some not really a verb form. An infinitive is
Lire.
a noun derived from a verb. It needs to be a noun because it's the object of wanting. But there's more. That object of wanting itself has an object.
Livre.
It's a nice recursive structure. The same type of thing within another thing. Voila. Alright, Catalan. Still starting out there, and it's taught through Standard Spanish. Animales. El pájaro. ¿Cuál de estos es el pájaro? Which of these is the bird?
Us.
Us from ursum, Latin.
El pingüí.
El pingüí.
El pingüí. El pingüí.
Pingüí. G stop is still present there, not pingüí. The mark on the U there is the diaresis.
El pingüí.
We have a wa. It's not to keep the gi from becoming he or anything, or g.
L'ocell.
Lucel. O is raised to u.
L'ocell.
Lucel. In the tonic syllable.
L'ocell.
And it would be a palatal at the end. And this ocell So we did Latin, we did French, we're doing Catalan. Ocel. Bird. Pájaro comes from a different Latin word, but they both go back to Latin. Ocel. Bird. I think it was originally a diminutive suffix, this quel, and the o goes back to awem, the bird, accusative. And the nominative was awis. That's where you'd find it in the dictionary. So this is the root of avid and aviation and lots of others. Auspicious. Avis is the nominative singular, meaning bird in Latin. So with a suffix attached to it, now just part of a single noun stem, fused into a single form, I doubt that o on its own would still mean bird. Or usel. Remember, the double L is that bright sounding, as in brilliant. The brilliant L, yeah. ¿Cuál de estos es el pingüino?
La araña.
Probably a palatalized N.
El cranc.
Don't hear a K at the end.
La araña. El cranc. La araña.
There's two ways to look at this spelling. R-A-N-Y-A. Is the N closing the second syllable, ran, and the next has an onset, ya? I think it's more likely that ña is a single onset, and this one before it is an open syllable.
El cranc.
El cran.
La araña.
La raña. La raña, with 3 syllables of equal weight.
El pingüí.
El pingüí. So higher tone on that acute accented E at the end. Masculine. Now, and this one likely feminine. Aranea must have been in Latin, right? For the spider. For this kind of thing, Google Translate is quite wonderful. Spider. Aranea. Hominis. Spider-Man. Aranea hominis. Suko vampire. Interesting. Suko. Aranea. And in Greek, arachnis, I think. In ancient Greek. But anyway.
Els animals veuen aigua.
Standard Spanish has los, keeping the
Els.
second vowel, losing the first. Here, vice, we keep illos, was the Latin form. Became els animals, that's plural. Los animales. Bewen, beben, agua.
Aigua. Els animals veuen aigua.
Drink water. The animals drink water. This is a third plural verb. Let's look at that. Beben. Beu for the stem, N for the ending. And remember Latin, the ending faciunt. So this N at the end here reflects an old NT cluster. That's not the stem that's interesting to us, but this ending, the NT of Latin. Verbs, inflected verbs in Romance and many other languages consist of 2 parts, a stem, to which the suffix is attached, and the suffix, or at least one suffix, and that suffix carries a specific meaning. Oso.
Os.
La araña. So we don't drop the vowel of the article, at least not in writing.
La araña.
The Spanish word, that's interesting. La araña, because it's not accented. In agua, we keep the el form for the feminine noun, el agua. La araña. But here in Catalan, we do, like in French, just lose the vowel.
Os. La araña.
Araña.
Ets un animal.
Edge. Love that for TS. J sound like in the word edge. A voiced palatal affricate.
Ets un animal.
June, and it carries over.
Ets un.
Give the
Ets.
onset of the vowel initial following word. Un animal. This is how it's syllabified. Unani.
Ets un animal.
Junani.
Ets un animal.
Those 3 words. Edge is eres. You are un animal. Very close to the Latin here. And that word means, as I mentioned a couple streams ago, thing that has a soul, breath. That word animal. Yo como un cangrejo, crab. So yo menjo,
Menjo.
the same root as the French word for eating, instead of como. Un cangrejo.
Un
Crab.
cranc.
Like the Ninja Turtles character. Una araña come pájaros. A spider, subject. Come, eats birds.
Una
Araña.
araña.
So we don't lose this vowel, it seems, if this is correct. And then come, menja,
Menja.
pájaros, ocells, plural.
Ocells.
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 Ocells. Let's go ahead and finish this circle for completeness. All right. El león,
El ratolí.
el ratolí,
El conill.
el conill,
El lleó.
el lleó,
El conill. El lleó.
el lleó. So why is this palatalized? Why is it a palatal? Maybe because of the just colors it over time. El toro,
El conill.
conill,
El ratolí.
el ratolí,
El toro.
toro.
És un mico.
This is miku.
Mico.
Mono, I don't know. So let's go to translate again. Let's go now. The Spanish word into English. Monkey.
Mico.
Miku es un mono. Nombre genérico con que se designa a cualquiera de los primates del suborden de los antropoides. Hocico reducido. It's hocico. Snout. Love it. Go down a rabbit hole there. Alright, let's finish the task at hand though. Es un mono. Monkey, ape, dungarees. Conejo.
El conill. El lleó.
Lleó.
El porc. El conill. És un conill.
Es un conejo. Es un conejo. So the ll corresponds to the ch from an older j in Spanish. Conejo. Okay, el ratón.
El porc. El conill.
Conill.
El ratolí.
El ratolí. Escribe esto en catalán. El ratón come pan. El ratolí
Ratolí.
menja
Menja.
pa.
Pa.
Final M there is lost. Pa comes from, of course, bread. Panem. It's a regular development. The accusative ending and the nominative, where you'd find it in the dictionary, is panis. This is the root of companion. What else? Pantry. Many wonderful words. Eres un cerdo. Oh, a pig. You are a pig.
És
Un
un
porc.
porc.
Italian.
Dov'è il serpente?
Dov'è il serpente? Dove, where? Is the snake. Same source as our word serpent from Latin. Participle means
Serpente.
the creeping one.
Cos'è una mela?
Cos'è una mela? What is an apple?
Cos'è un libro?
What is a book? Cos'è un libro?
Qual è il tuo libro?
Which is your book? Qual è il tuo libro? Is all a noun phrase. The book of yours. So the il is a determiner and tuo is an adjective in Italian. Unlike English, where my and your, those possessive words, are determiners. Not so here. Qual è, which is your book. Where is the zoo? Dov'è il zoo? Lo zoo. Right. Il is the normal, the more frequent form of it, but Z is a Z, a double consonant sound, and their Italian prefers the vowel final form, lo. Lo zoo. So, a theme in the Romance family is that it dislikes strings of more than 2 consonants. If it was il zoo, you'd have an L, D, Z consonant, those 3 all bunched up, and it tries to avoid that. Dove, lo zoo. Same value as il, just for phonetic reasons, it's a preferred alternate.
Dov'è il cuoco?
Dove il cuoco? Where's the cook?
Qual è?
Qual è? Which is it? Yeah, we need that word it, subject pronoun in English, but Italian doesn't. You can drop it. The tells you it's third singular, the verb form there. Qual è? Qual, no ending, è. Cos'è? What is it? Yeah, cosa means either thing or what. Cos'è, and you'd lose that final a with the following verb. Which one? Qual è il tuo pinguino? Which one is your penguin? Qual è, accented, il tuo, because it's masculine, singular. Masculine is just an arbitrary quality. Please don't get hung up on that. Pinguino. Nothing to get upset about there. It's the drawer into which you sort one of the drawers into which you sort your nouns. These languages have 2 now. In Latin, it was 3 drawers called genders. In Romance languages, it's 2. Masculine, feminine. They might as well be red and blue. It's essentially without significance. What is it? Cosa è would be the base forms. Lose that final a. Cos'è. 2 syllables. And we march on to the next Romance language. So these are all sisters within a tighter, smaller family, more recently arisen. And English is a cousin to this group of Romance language, but outside of it. But from French, primarily, we got lots of the vocab incorporated into our stock of words. So it looks like it's Romanian next. Romanian was cut off from the rest of the Romance-speaking world for many centuries. It's still, in many ways, wonderfully like Latin still.
Canari.
It looks like a plural noun, maybe from the verb, the word for canary, just meaning birds.
Canari.
Specifically.
Un taur. Doi tauri.
Beautiful. Un, one, masculine form. Un taur, a bull. Doi from duo. Tauri, just like the Latin plural marker. Bull.
Un vultur. Doi vulturi.
So either vulture or another kind of bird.
Vultur.
Eagle or vulture.
Vulturi.
Doi, un and doi, and just add
Vulturi.
e suffix to make it plural. Singular form and the stem end in that consonant R. An eagle, two eagles. Rock, flag.
Un țânțar. Doi țânțari.
Dancer, what's that?
Țânțar.
Mosquito. So T with that little mark below it is a ts, as in pizza, that sound. Single consonant. Un țânțar. It's a plain T, ta, unvoiced, ta. Sorry, unaspirated and unvoiced. As a quicker release, if you slow down how quickly you withdraw your tongue there from the T position, tsa, it develops this s in between. Țânțar.
Țânțar.
So, fascinated by the sound, I forgot what the word means, and then two mosquitoes.
Un hamster. Doi hamsteri.
What could it be? Okay, and this is not pronounced ri.
Hamsteri.
Instead.
Hamster. Hamster.
So, just
Hamster.
silent letter I here. Likely taken from English.
Măgari.
Oh gosh. Could be palatalizing the R.
Măgari.
Yeah. And then it's devoiced because it's word final.
Măgari.
So where else do you have a voiceless R in some places in Spanish? Măgari. Was it donkeys?
Măgari.
And that bowl-shaped accented I eat potatoes and carrots. Eu mănânc. And those are both. So first has the bowl, second has the hat. And C, ending it there with no vowel. She is and. Morkovi. Kov, and then plural E, carrots. Oh, I need potatoes. Kartofi. Okay. So the word and has a real interesting property, and she seems to have it too. Well, I'm going to guess it does, but what I had, if I didn't have this word for potatoes here just now, it was I eat and carrots, which just doesn't work. I can't get my brain to make, unless the I eat and carrots. What and requires is that the two things on either side be of the same structural type, either a sentence or just a noun or a verb on either side or adjectives, whatever, but it just can't be mismatched. It can't be I eat, a subject verb sentence essentially, and then carrots, a noun. It doesn't work. A stallion. Armsar. Armsar. M is raised from not the most open a, but either mid or even high vowel. Armsar. Doi. Armsar, and it's going to be written ri. We won't hear the e. Armsar e. Spelling, and that's not too surprising. Don't be too baffled by this. English has silent E all over the place. Here it's silent I. Can't accuse Romanian of doing anything devious when it's just like English, just with a different letter. Too close. Okay, I want to do a complete cycle of all the ones that are on here. Like I said, there's many others. Local dialects. Romance. Portuguese. And we're learning the Brazilian variety in this course. A Brazilian variety.
Quatro. Dois.
Dois.
Um.
Três.
also a diphthong, written with just the hat shape.
3,
4,
Nice and long first syllable.
4,
So I think the T belongs to the second syllable, not to the first. Not quatru, but quatru.
4,
Os 4 homens bebem leite.
This us is the outcome of illos, those over there, those 4 men, the 4 men. Bebem, this is bewen. In Catalan, in Portuguese, we have bebem. And the M is not really a M, it's it's an incompletely sealed nasal, generally, is my impression. Portuguese, bebem. Bebu would be the I form, so let's conveniently segment it here. That's third plural. They, 3P, third plural. They eat. They drink, rather. The 4 men drink, and then the object, leite, milk.
Os 4 homens bebem leite.
Leite, not te.
Leite.
So the vowel has raised. E to E, the mouth just doesn't open as far. And that
Leite.
colors the te to a chi.
Os 4.
Quatro. These O letters are also pronounced as high vowels. Us. 5.
3,
Tres. Not tres, but tres. Ending in a y.
4,
Quatro.
5,
Cinco. N nasalizes that first vowel. And the second is raised from O to U. Stack of dollars, too.
4,
Quatro. 2 open syllables.
1, 3.
Três.
Sim, ela tem 3 gatos.
Sim, ela tem 3 gatos. Yes, she has 3 cats. The masculine plural form. So it looks just like Spanish, sounds a little different.
Gatos.
Gatos.
Uma casa e 5 animais.
I feel that at least this form of Portuguese really accentuates the distinction of a heavy and a light, and a stressed and an accented and unaccented syllable. Gatos, more than Spanish does, where it keeps them equal length. Uma casa e 5 animais. Uma. This is really interesting.
Casa.
Unum in Latin. The N, so to speak, became an M. Maybe in the labializing influence of the U. A house, casa, spelled just like a Spanish word, but this S is a Z voiced here.
Casa.
E and 5 animals, animais.
2 gatas.
These are female cats. Gatas, as shown by the A in this position.
São 4, não 3.
São has that nasalized A. São, they are 4. Não also has that. 3. This one has the hat, or the umbrella. Upside down V shape. The real name for it is circumflex, but that just sounds so nerdy. I prefer something more appealing. They are 4, not 3. So we don't need the they, we'll just say the verb são 4, not 3, não 3. São 4.
Ele pede uma xícara de chá.
Xícara was a cup. Ele pede, not de.
Pede.
Pede uma xícara de chá. Ele, I always think it's female, but it means he. Pede, orders. And Latin, pedit. That T became silent. Uma, say a xícara, cup or glass.
Xícara.
G, chá of tea. Alright, let me leave you with my colleague for a moment while I open the door. Sugashi desu. I am busy, it is busy. Japanese, busy on weekends could be generally true.
おとといは仕事をしませんでした。
Same window typed. I didn't work the day before yesterday.
おとといはパーティーをしました。
Ototoi wa, as for the day before yesterday, party o shimashita. I did a party I had a party. Threw a party, maybe. The day. We know this is the past tense we're talking about.
押しました。
This ta suffix. And woshimashita is not a meaningful phrase. I don't know why it would tell you that. Party the day before yesterday.
平日は仕事をします。
平日は仕事をします。On weekdays, I go to work. I do work. Weekdays or weekdays?
月曜日から金曜日まで仕事をします。
Break it down from the end. 仕事をします。I do work. 金曜日まで。
まで
Until Friday. 月曜日から from Tuesday. Okay, where were we? Shikara Jisha. What do the five men read? Subject is the five men. They read what? Que leem os cinco homens. O que? The what, right? We need the right verbs. It's not number one, not what do they lose, but leem. But not 20 men, but 5. O que? The what? Os cinco homens, the 5 men, leem, they read.
Prato com 2 bananas.
Prato com 2 bananas. Prato.
Prato.
Plate, yeah. Com 2 bananas. Prato com 2 bananas.
Prato com 2 bananas. Com.
Prato. Oh, and sounded O as well. Prato com, so not raised. Duas, plural, feminine. He asks Ellie, pede, for 1 cup of tea, uma xícara de chá, also accented. That's all. Okay, we didn't do Spanish. Let's do standard Spanish. Checkpoint. I'm currently fortunate to be taking Spanish class at Lango, learning myself. Spanish for, did you know? 2 to 3-ish. Just been around it. Perfect. No me gusta mucho ir a la escuela. I don't like to go to school very much. A veces los exámenes son difíciles y tengo mucha tarea. At times, the exams are difficult and I have a lot of homework. Solo me gusta ver a mis amigos. That's a verb phrase. To see at them. Verb phrase containing the object noun phrase there. Y hablar con ellos. Solo me gusta. Solo. So, note that it's masculine. I think that's not agreeing with the speaker. It wouldn't be sola for a female speaker, right? Sola just to the only degree. I only like, solo me gusta ver, to see my friends and to speak with them. So here too, just one inflected verb. The other verbal parts in this clause are infinitives, which is verbal nouns. Verbs in disguise, in nouns clothing. ¿Por qué no le gusta ir a la escuela? No tiene mucha tarea. ¿Por qué los exámenes no son fáciles? Yep, she said they were difíciles, difficult, which means they are no son fáciles. They are not easy. That's that. Here's that root. From the Latin verb facere, F-A-C is the basic form. we've got these among many dozens of other derivatives. Spanish. Difíciles. Accented. Ciles. Hard. Fáciles. Easy. And look at the difference. When do you get the a? When do you get the e? This one means easy. Well, it's not simple. They're both accented. It's not that. When you have the prefix, this one shifts. It raises. Fáciles. It's the same root that was spelled F-A-C in Latin. Same spelling here. Instead of a k by the C, we mark a s sound here. That's because of the following e. Fa-ki in Latin became fa-ci or thi, depending on the region of Spain and the time period. That's that verb root that means do, make. So easy, fáciles, plural form here, doable, and difíciles, not like disdoable. Difíciles. Complete the chat. La something, por favor. Aquí tiene, señor. Here you have it, sir. La cuenta, por favor. These other things make no sense. It's got to be a feminine noun because of the la. Te gusta, it's going to be an infinitive. ¿Cuántos países conoces? How many countries do you know? Viajar makes sense there. Do you like to travel? De viajar. No me gusta de, but just te gusta viajar. Esta clase, feminine, but this noun stem doesn't show it. Esta es demasiado is more. Okay. Difícil makes sense, and this noun also does not distinguish masculine and feminine. Yo, it's got to be an O form. Leo, I read un libro de español. I read a book of Spanish. Hasta luego. See you next time. Okay. Hola, adios. Goodbye. Think luego soon. See you soon. Hasta is until. Ellos limpiar su dormitorio todas las mañanas. Okay, ellos, which verb form agrees? They clean their bedroom every morning. Todas las mañanas. All the mornings. Plural. Ellos is going to be limpian. And that's, remember, faciunt. Compare the endings here. Limpian. Say the stem ends in a. Limpiar. Sometimes be gone, but it's basically an a final verb stem. The n is the third plural ending, which goes back to the unt ending of Latin. Faciunt. This one too. Simplify that cluster. Cluster means two or more consonants in contact. Mi es muy grande. Could be a noun of either gender. The mi doesn't distinguish, and the grande doesn't agree, or doesn't distinguish those forms. I suppose it agrees on some level, but it's not expressed in different forms of the noun. But it's got to be a noun. Mi aquí, my here makes no sense. My where, my eating, my food, but my computer is a better fit. Is very big. Es muy grande. Soy de España, Perú. Vivo makes sense. I live in China. And this shows it's really two independent sentences there. I should have stayed on it. Hola, me llamo Maximiliano. My name is. Soy alto y moreno. I am tall and dark-haired. Me gusta mucho tocar la guitarra. I really like playing guitar. Las chicas dicen que soy muy simpático y que toco muy bien la guitarra. The ladies say that I'm very nice and that I play the guitar well. Muy bien, very well. Mis amigos dicen que soy estudioso, pero la escuela no me gusta mucho. My friends say that I'm very studious, hardworking in school, but I don't care for school much. ¿Cómo es Max? Es estudioso, alto y simpático, yeah? So he says. Bajo y simpático? No. Alto y rubio? No. Rubio y guapo? No. Quiero ir a España este... It's going to be masculine. Alright. Este carro. I want to go to Spain. This car, not so much. This airplane. This child. This year. Año.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Año. Well, if I remember, let's talk about this ña in año. Year. ¿Qué escuchas?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Estás. How are you? Intimate form. Yo escribo en la clase de francés. I write in the class of French.
Buenos días, señor. ¿Cuánto cuesta esta camisa blanca?
La camisa blanca cuesta $20, pero la camisa azul cuesta $40.
Okay.
Nosotros también tenemos una camisa verde por solo $10.
$10. Yo quiero leer un masculine noun. Libro works. The others are all feminine. Un tells me that it's in a phrase with a masculine one. Its form un rather than una is a reaction to that fact.
Yo soy una mujer.
Yo soy una mujer. Yo soy una mujer.
Yo como. Tú comes. Él come.
So this is a partial paradigm, collection of different forms of the same verb. I eat, you eat, she eats. Oh, he specifically. Él. Ella would be she.
El pan.
El pan, the bread.
Una mujer.
Una mujer.
Una mujer.
Mujer. The voice is there. It's a voiceless R. Mujer.
¿Tú bebes leche?
Tú bebes leche. Here at meaning you, the subject form is accented. Bebes leche.
Yo bebo leche.
Yo bebo leche. Homegirl's falling asleep. I drink milk.
¿Tú bebes agua?
Tú bebes agua. You drink water. Tú bebes agua.
Yo bebo agua.
Yo bebo agua.
¿Tú comes manzanas?
Tú. You drink. I drink. Tú comes. You eat. Do you eat apples? Mansa. So we spell it with a Z, but it sounds like our S. Voiceless. Manzanas. Do you eat apples? Spanish has no voiced fricatives. They're all voiceless.
Juan come manzanas.
Juan. Voiceless. Used to be a je, I think. Come eats manzanas, apples.
Juan come pan.
Come eats pan, bread.
El hombre bebe agua.
El hombre bebe agua. The man drinks. It's a noisy setup I have here. Drinks water.
Yo como pan.
I eat pan.
Él come manzanas.
Él come manzanas. He eats apples. The bread, el pan.
La mujer.
Mujer, the woman. Voiceless forgive. Used to be je, na ja.
Yo bebo. Tú bebes. Él bebe.
Drink. So O for I form. S for the U form. And now the final E with no consonant for the older it ending, bebit in Latin. And el, he drinks.
La mujer bebe agua.
Mujer bebe agua. The woman drinks. Bebit aquam. Water.
Yo como pan.
It's interesting, bebere stayed a B there. That's what it was in Latin too. It didn't just go in Spanish. I eat bread.
Yo como manzanas.
I eat apples. So all the languages that we've seen, all these descendants of Latin, they still have plural marking on the nouns, but they no longer distinguish case. And the verbs still preserve this distinction of endings. We see, yeah. Yo, is, it. with the T tending to drop. Sometimes it's written and not sounded. And the nt of the third plural simplifying to n. They continue these endings here. And the root itself continues as well in Spanish. It's in French faire, in Italian fare, and so on. Alright, maybe let's go on to something that is not romance, because why not? We've seen all the ones, I think, all the ones that are taught on here. And looking forward to them releasing, releasing the Yiddish one on its way. Do we have a comment? No. Okay, so I'm going to be using this input system to look up Chinese characters. And I will say it aloud as I go. So you can follow along and then learn this as a way to look up Chinese. Sort of put characters together. It's almost as fun as writing them by hand and sort of doing that action with training wheels. Hobbies is our topic.
Wei.
It's an A, not the I of number 2. Wei.
Xi.
Xi. X is a sh sound. It occurred to me today. It's kind of like if we say the word human, it's not the same as in whole or something. The E vowel that follows shapes the fricative sh with the very small space up front here. Xi is what the X signifies. Kind of like in Mexico also. This verb means study. Xi. It looks like that's diao.
Xi.
Has 2 inside strokes. Diao should be right S outside and then M. And there it is, number 2. Diao is a name. That's all I know it as. Family name. Xi is the one we want. This is Lun. No, Tao.
Tao.
Ding.
Ding. Diao. Xi. Wen.
Wen. Written language. Written word.
为什么?
为什么? For what or why? One. Okay, first I'll just go through all 4. 是.
是.
One.
文.
右.
以.
We want
文.
我想去中国。
我想去中国. I wanna go to is those 2 words. Go to, those meanings are expressed by the single 去, the single syllable. China, 中国.
你会说中文吗?
你会说中文吗? To decode this, it's good to start at the end. This is a question marking tag. 中文 Chinese. 说中文 to speak it. 会说中文 to be able to speak it. Can you? This ma signals up or down, yes or no. Can you speak Chinese? Okay, let me do them from the front again. 魏
立
对
包魏他喜欢学习英语。
他喜欢学习英语。She enjoys, she likes 学习 to study. We need that infinitive mark there on the non-inflected verb. 英语 English.
文
written language. 糖 sugar.
糖
习 study.
习
超 go beyond.
超魏
on behalf of.
我喜欢听中文歌。
我喜欢听中文歌。I like to listen to Chinese songs. Spawns. 魏市 market or city. 鲜 fresh. 习 study. Acquire through repetition. 文
为什么他不高兴？
writing, not riding a horse, but writing language down. 为什么他不高兴? Why is he unhappy? Or we could say not happy. Very same expression in Chinese. Whether you regard 高兴, I would say is a single word. Is this a prefixed single word? Or is it a phrase? Who knows? Not me.
你会说中文吗？
你会. So now we're going to see how to look up characters with this system. This is a graphic decomposition and input character lookup method here.
你会说中文吗？
Just need to picture the character in my mind and break it down into its pieces, which map onto the keys of the keyboard. O for the person, N, F, 你会. I'm writing the traditional forms first, and then we'll convert to input them in Duolingo. 你会 is with the person shape on top, O, O-M-W-A, sun shape on the bottom. 说, speech radical on the left, Y-R. And the right component, C-R-U. Just reading down. 你会说中文吗？
你会说中文吗？
说中文 You can input things more than one syllable at a time. L for middle, YK for one is 中文. You can input this single character or this collocation language name.
你会说中文吗？
As the mouth radical R, SQF for the horse. So we've got some traditional forms that we need to replace with this convenient button at the middle down there. 你会说中文吗？会说中文吗？
你为什么学习中文？
中文 Chinese 学习 study it
为么
For what reason? Why do you study Chinese?
你们想不想去纽约？
你们想不想去纽约？ Do you, yes or no? Want to go to New York? Yep.
我用电脑学习中文。
我用电脑学习中文。Alright, so it's a couple ways to look at it. A sequence of verb object phrases. Use computer, transitive phrase, and then 学习中文, study Chinese. And an elegant way to translate it is to take this as an instrumental. Using such and such means with by means of. The kernel here, I study Chinese language. What? Study Chinese. Using the computer is what I...
你的朋友去哪儿？
To input there, 你的朋友去哪儿? Where's your friend going? Friend.
我用电脑学习中文。
I study Chinese with a computer. Via computer.
牙
Means like a tusk or tooth. Rising tone.
西
She has that fricative, as in Mexico, spelled with X. West, that word. She, the west one. Okay, let's read them from left to right. In.
音 一
Okay, let's give the meanings too.
音
For cause, reason.
一
Healing arts, medicine. 一
西
She, the west. 雨 rain.
雨
Oops. Let's select the right one.
班
班. Don't have a good meaning handy for this. Let's see. So to input it, M for the top stroke, G for the earth. LL maybe? LLG? No, maybe I after this for the dot and then an L. There it is, ILG for the right component. 班 Let's get a good all-purpose meaning. Rough and ready. Translation. Group, party, squad is a good one. Shift. Squad or shift, a group of people. Ban, you're right, like when you go to work. 上班 同班 and so on. For your colleague.
所
Place where. Just a moment here. Get back to my colleague. Tuesday till Friday.
中国から来ました。
中国から from China 来ました。I came. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to clean this keyboard.
月曜日から金曜日まで仕事をします。
I work from Monday to Friday. That's it. All right. 45 out of 50. Cool. I'm in 5th place? What? Good grief. Gotta double it to get to the top. Way to go. Following. Alright, more Swedish. From left.
鸡
Ying.
鹏
Peng, friend. Chao.
超
Super.
所 因
Yin. Cause reason.
以
E by means of. Ya. Alright, from the left. Wei.
为
I.
才
Xi.
习牙
Spain. 西班牙.
西班牙
Look for meanings in this case. That's just 3 syllables. It sound like the target word Hispania. 西班牙. Ya. 西班牙.
这个太贵，所以我不买。
这个太贵，所以我不买. This 所以 is a really wonderful construction inherited from classical and old Chinese. So 以 is that by means of. So then this phrase, this expression 所以 means that is the reason by which it is thus. 这个太贵. This is too expensive. 所以 that's the reason why. So 我不买. I won't buy it. 以 Alright, from the left. 为
为神
以
以
牙
牙以我学习中文，因为我要去中国。
我学习中文因为 or 因为 how does he say it?
我学习中文，因为我要去中国。
因为 sounds like two high tones. Interesting. 我要去中国。
我学习中文，因为我要去中国。
因为 first tone, second tone. Okay, that's how I hear it.
我学习中文，因为我要去中国。
I've read that it can also be with
因
first and fourth.
为
Way. This way has also a second tone reading. Many characters have more than one way that they're pronounced. Alright, I study Chinese because I want to go to China. Same basic constituent order here. Subject, verb, object. I study Chinese. 因为 because. The reason being would be a word for word rendering. 我要去中国. So we have these nested phrases. China, object of 去, to go to. That's a complement of the
我
wanting or will. Here, want to go to China. All right, from the left. 面
面
西 the west.
西
国 kingdom.
国
因 reason.
因
西 the
西
west. Reason 因
因
yi by means of
以
the tooth. 牙
牙
所 place where.
所
From the left. 服
服
submit. Why outside.
外
班 squad.
班
松 pine or also relax.
松
Forehead smack. 以
以
by means of 西 the west.
西
Reason 因
因
tooth 牙
牙
squad 班
班
他想住在西班牙，因为他的女朋友是西班牙人。
他想住在西班牙，因为他女朋友是西班牙人。住在 either a single word or a phrase within a larger phrase. 他想 he wants to live in 住在 Spain. 因为 reason being because 他的女朋友 his girlfriend. And the very same constituent order we have in English. It's really easy. Once you get over the hurdle of the characters and the tones, syllable structure is really easy, and the word order is very intuitive for a native English speaker. If you, or any competent English user, very, very close together in how they order their, like the logical sequence of the phrases. Many languages, other things are kind of inverted. We have to relearn. It's like driving on the other side of the road, but Chinese goes the same most of the time as English. Most of it's been because 因为他的 his girlfriend 女朋友是 this is an identifying or classifying verb. She is 西班牙人, a Spain person is Spanish.
这个太贵，所以我不买。
Here comes the fun bit. We get to recall these characters.
这个太贵，所以我不买。
Too expensive, so I'm not buying it. 这个 Y-Y-M-R 个 O-W-J-R 太 is K-I 贵 L-M-B-U-C 所以我不买。
这个太贵，所以我不买。
Therefore, that's the reason why. 所以 H-S-H-M-L E is predicted. 我 H-Q-I 不 M-F 买 W-L-M-B-C wait B-U-C rather B-U-C 所以我不买 Now we're going to simplify with the button and paste that.
为什么你想去西班牙？
为什么你想去西班牙 Why you want to go to Spain? So we just have to invert with the do, add this do support, and add the word to. And this word is interesting. The 为什么 could also go elsewhere in the sentence. It could be 你为什么想去西班牙 Why do you want to go? Here, this one makes me think it might better be translated as why is it the case that 为什么 and then an unaltered sentence within that. Why do you want to go to Spain? 西班牙 are chosen for phonetic reasons. Alright, from left. The reason in medicinal arts 一 west 西 green
雨西
ban from the left 服 submit
服
outside why
外
Squadron, ban.
班
Fine. Sung.
松
You want.
班
Let's do some more Catalan. You can get two romance languages at once. Plurales. So whenever more than one of a thing is referred to.
El vi. El vi.
N is lost. Vinum of Latin. French vin. Vino in Spanish. El vi.
Els llibres.
Els libres. Palatalizing because of the E. The vowel of syllable 1 has colored the consonant.
La clau.
Clau from clawem of Latin.
El vi.
El vi. We want
Els llibres.
els libres. La llave. So these are sister words in the two languages. They both come from Latin. Clawem. You're giving a lia, and here keeping the original cla, but losing the second syllable. L'ampolla.
La clau.
La clau. What do we have in English from this clau? Clavier, the German word for piano, is the keyed instrument. Clavichord in the instrument. Levi, please let me know when you watch this.
Els nens mengen pomes.
Els nens mengen pomes. The boys, los niños. Niños. Mengen is comen, they eat. Pomes, manzanas. So think of French pomme. Cousin word here. Comprobar. Buen trabajo. Masculine. No ending here. Continuar.
La nena menja maduixes.
La nena, the girl, menja eats maduixes.
La nena menja maduixes.
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 Fresas, strawberries. What a neat word.
La nena menja maduixes.
La nena menja maduixes. La niña come frases. Not phrases, but strawberries. Fresas. I've done that before.
Les nenes escriuen cartes.
Las nenes
Les nenes escriuen cartes.
escriben. Las nenas escriben cartas. Las niñas, feminine plural. Las niñas escriben. Essentially the same pronunciation, but spelled B. Cartas, feminine plural. Las niñas escriben cartas.
La dona llegeix uns diaris.
Llegeix.
La dona llegeix uns diaris.
Llegeix.
La dona llegeix uns diaris.
Llegeix, and it's voiced, probably because it's between two vowels here.
La dona llegeix uns diaris.
Uns diaris.
Diaris.
Periódicos diarios. Unos
Uns.
some. So la mujer, the woman reads. So this is Latin legit, palatalized ye, and then all palatalized. Not surprisingly. So I think we made this equation on another stream. I love this spelling.
Llegeix.
Sound of it so much from legit. So much of it is changed, but it's so clearly recognizable what's underlying it. I've got the line somewhere. Here we go. So this j, sh, ix reflects Latin legit reads. Leg, the stem, it, the ending. Third singular. So every segment that's in this word from Latin has become a palatalized, has been substituted by a palatal one. Je for le and je for gi, and then sh somehow for the it. Mujer, leye.
Llegeix.
Llegeix. And this Spanish too, leye, reflects this very same word form. Outcome quite different, but all by regular changes. Unos diarios. Unos diarios. Periódicos. Leye.
Bon dia, peixos.
Peixos. Fish.
Peixos.
Hello, fish. Buenos días. Pescados. Buenos días, pescados.
La dona, les paraules.
Paraules. La dona, la mujer. Les paraules.
Paraules.
Palabras. Palabras. These are
Paraules.
reflecting the same origin, with some jumping around. Parabola. This is closer to the original of Greek.
Paraules.
Here the B has no. Well, L and R are always interchanging or dancing around in Spanish. La mujer las palabras. 2 nouns.
La nena menja maduixes.
Maduixes is fresas. La niña. Come, menja. Fresas. Strawberries. Beautiful.
Ea are 2 urși.
Ea are, she has, 2 urși.
Ea are 2 urși. Ea are 2 urși.
Urș. Don't really hear the E anymore. She has 2 bears.
Un bou, 2 boi.
Bou, 2 boi. 1 cow. 2 kine. 2 cows. Ox. Bow. Alright.
Un papagal, 2 papagali.
Here, I think the I is coloring the L, not gali, but gali, which happened in the history of the Slavic languages too, which was going on nearby. Un papagal, 2 papagali. It's a parrot, I think. The talking bird.
Papagal.
2 parrots.
Un leu, 2 lei.
Leu, 2 lei. So very often they're chopping off the second of 2 vowels and replacing it with E. It's not quite suffixation. The singular has a segment that's no longer there in the plural form. This U. So a lion, 2 lions. Originally, leon was the form for both the English and the Romanian.
Porci.
Porci, right. Porc, I think, letter C without anything after it. And here the I is, we say palatalizing, giving a different tongue position to the consonant.
Porci.
Porci. Pigs.
Un păianjen, 2 păianjeni.
Păianjen. Don't recognize it.
Un păianjen, 2 păianjeni.
Spider. Where does this come from? Okay, Slavic. Paunchina for spider. A spider, 2 spiders.
Rechin.
Rechin. Okay, the final E is not heard directly, but it colors the N probably.
Rechin. Rechin.
Sharks.
Un cocoș, 2 cocoși. Un cocoș, 2 cocoși.
Sounds just about alike to me. And was it coconut?
Cocoș.
Rooster. 2 roosters.
Un bou, doi boi.
Ox. Un bou, doi boi, 2 oxen. Nice plural of English. Dogs.
Pahar.
Pahar for a glass.
Șoarece.
Șoarece. Mouse.
Câini.
Câini.
Avem castraveți pe masă?
Avem, I guess we have, castraveți pe masă.
Castraveți. Avem.
Do we have
Castraveți.
Castraveți. Cucumbers. Pe masă.
Masă. Pe.
Okay. Mensam.
Masă.
Masă.
Pe.
On for per. Through originally. Pe masă. On the table. Oh, cool. Not through the table is what it looks like from a Latin point of view, but on.
Iepuri. Iepuri. Noi nu mâncăm căței de usturoi.
Say, noi nu mâncăm, we don't eat. Căței de usturoi.
Căței.
Cloves of garlic. Puppies. Usturoi.
Usturoi.
Plural too, or just that the stem ends?
Căței. Mâncăm. Noi nu mâncăm căței de usturoi.
Căței de usturoi. We do not eat cloves of garlic.
Pui.
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 Polli would be Latin, I think. Pui, chickens.
Usturoi.
Usturoi. What was the phrase?
Usturoi.
Cloves of garlic. Two girls, două, fată, what's the plural now? Fată for singular, fete, yeah. This one has this accent, and the vowel changes. Fată, fete, mănânc. This one, mănânci, what's the plural form? Maybe mănâncă, maybe mănducant. Mănâncă, alternating accents. Bowl, umbrella. Mănâncă, bowl. Grapes, oua, right? Struguri, strugurș. Strugurș. Cool word. Două fete, two girls. Mănâncă, I hope, strugurș. So, it's not directly visible, but this verb form in Romanian, I'm presuming, mănâncă has the same ending that we see in that faciunt, the NT. The T has gone, as in many other sister languages, but the N has also gone. Or maybe it's colored the A into this Mănâncă. So not interested in the stem here, but the ending is the same, though there's no shared segment that happens. Right? Things just diverge over time. We're talking about 2,000 years. They have, give or take, they have horses. They, yei, I think, ei. And then are, yei au is they have, habeunt, au. Here's that same ending, au. So this one they eat, third plural. And au, what a cool form. This reflects, so that means they have. And it comes from, so here it's both the stem and the ending that we're talking about. Habe was the stem in Latin, and then habent. So just the a survives unscathed. Everything else is been affected by sound changes. Ow, and then horses. Kai. That's probably cavallus. Cavalli. Maybe. Ei au kai. Nice. Ei au. Yay au kai. They have horses. Love it.
El are 2 sticle de maioneză.
Sticle de maioneză.
Sticle.
Bottles. El are.
El are 2 sticle de maioneză.
Feminine.
2.
Bottles. El are. He has 2 bottles. Feminine. Of mayonnaise. Mayonnaise. Named after a region of France, the mayonnaise sauce.
Plăcinte.
Plăcinte cakes, I think. Just leave you to ponder what English word is related to that.
O varză. 2 verze.
O varză, 2 verze. That same vowel change as with the word for girl. O is really cool. The definite article, O, means the, and it's feminine singular. And it comes from unam. It's all shrunk down to a single vowel sound. O.
Varză.
Cabbage. 1 cabbage, 2 cabbages. Verze. We call that umlaut. The E, probably of an I suffix, maybe. Colored.
Verze.
Raised it in the syllable before. Like happened in the Germanic family. English, German, the Norse languages.
Bărbatul are 2 cepe pe masă.
Etc. Bărbatul, the man, has 2 cepe pe masă on the table. 2
Cepe.
onions. Cebola, Portuguese. Masa from mensam, up on the table.
O supă. 2 supe.
So this is o unam, 1 soup, 2 soups.
Bufnițe.
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 Ubo, stem, I think, for owl, and then some suffixes, or a second component. So this ts.
Bufnițe.
Okay, what's owl singular in Romanian? Taking guesses. A little quiet in the chat today. Alright, bufnițe. I think it's not going to be a ts in the singular, but maybe bufnita or something. And I'm going to use Google Translate English to Romanian. Owl. Bufniță. Okay, it is that mutated T, and it's the central vowel. Bufniță. Ț and E giving E. Just as in fată, fată-i, maybe, fată, although feminine instead of masculine. The woman has 2 geese. O femeie has habit. Okay, geese, anser in Latin. Gâștea. 2 feminine, I think. Wait. No, I'm going to guess masculine. This goose word looks like it's from Germanic. Gâștea. Doi gâștea. The hatted one. Isha. Wait, how is it? Okay, no I, but a esh and then T. Like Gäste, kind of, the German word for guests. But it's related to Gänse, I think. Or Femeia, the woman, Are has. Doi, I'm guessing masculine plural. Doa, it's a feminine. Okay. Femeia are doa gâște. The woman, o femeie, are has 2 tables in the kitchen. Două mese. mesele, the 2 tables, doua, rather, mese, in, okay, la bucătărie, for in the, la, inella would have been in Latin. What is it, la? Bucătărie, cătărie. Femeia, the woman. Spoiled again. Foiled, rather. Are două mese, plural, feminine plural. In bucătărie. Well, that thing wasn't very helpful there, was it? Dictionary hints are wrong or just not good. Are două mese in, I wonder how that sounded, bucătărie. The woman, femeia, fused article at the end. Are două, găște, sh, rather, accent, or the modified, te. The woman, femeia, are 2 tables, două mese, două mese in bucătărie, was it? Bucătărie. All right. I've got in me tonight. Thanks for watching. See you next time.